This is David Paul. I'll be leading the piano lessons here on the website. We're really happy that you joined us today. What we're going to do is we're going to cover the foundation that the 3 songs for lesson 1 are built from. The 3 songs are Little Bird, Jingle Bells, and Mary Had a Little Lamb. So when you start piano for the very first time, it's a good idea to get your hands in one spot. They call it the position. And in this lesson, we are in C position. The reason it's called C position is because the bottom note of the 5 fingers is on the note C. Okay? I have a right hand here, thumb on C, and then I line up the 5 fingers, and then I put the pinky finger of my left hand on C, and my hands stay in that spot. If you're brand new to the piano, just understand it's perfectly okay if you do one hand at a time, and then the other hand, and then eventually bring them together. Almost every piano method starts with just one hand at a time. So if these things are a little too tricky for you, you can always do it one hand at a time. I'm going to show 2 hands because the basic idea is going to be there, whether it's 1 or 2. Okay? So the first thing we're going to do is a scale. The reason I didn't write it out is because it would be really long and intimidating. This is something that I'm going to encourage you to actually memorize, all right, as quickly as you can. So this is how it goes. A measure in the music that we're doing is 4 beats long. And we're going to put a note on beat 1, and we're going to have rests or silence on 2, 3, and 4, and then we're going to put the next note on beat 1. You'll understand it because I'm going to do it with you, and eventually you'll catch how it goes. It's like 1 note for every 4 beats, and then we're going to double that 1 note for every 2 beats, and then we're going to double that and a note on every beat, and then you're done. The whole thing takes less than 2 minutes. All right, so let's jump right in. Whoops. Let's try that. 1, 2, ready, go. 2, 3, 4. 2, 3, 4. 2, 3, 4. 2, 3, 4. 2, 3, 4. 2, 3, 4. 2, 3, 4. 2, 3, 4. 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2. That's it. That's the scale. The next thing is called echo. And in echo, what we do is we play a bit of music, say 3 notes, 4 notes, and then we echo it back. So the way it can work a number of different ways, but to get started, what I'm going to do is I'm going to play the notes, and if you refer to your music there, basically the double bar line, the thing that runs between, that's where it's kind of like that shows you where the starting and the ending is. So I'm going to play a measure, and then I'm going to leave that space, that empty space, for you to play it back. And then I'm going to play the next measure and leave a space for you to play it back. So the idea is I'm going to play the original, and you're going to echo back the same thing. Okay? And again, you can do one hand at a time. I made a really simple left hand. That's the pinky finger on the left hand, right? So you can do it just the right hand if you want, right? To make it simple. You don't have to do both hands right from the beginning. All right, so let's get after it, as they say. All right. So I'll count us in. I'm going to play, and then you're going to hear silence. And during the silence, you're going to play back to me what I played for you, okay? 1, 2, I play. You play. I play. And that's the echo. Now, it'll help your note reading to play what I played and watch the music as it goes by. If you're playing by ear, you make up your own. So what I do when I'm playing by ear, and I'm going to play the notes, but then I'm going to echo them back myself. So I make it up as I go along. I make new ones as I go along. So for example, so I'm doing the original and I'm doing the echo when I come off the music. And what I like about that is when you're playing a song, you want the song to go in your head and you want it to come out your fingers. So this is a way of making that connection very, very quickly, but in little chunks that are easy to remember. It got this magical thing. It comes together so quickly. It's just a whole lot of fun. And in relationship to that, what I'm going to do with you now is to do a little bit of a variation. It's a really, really important one. I realize that you're here to play piano and you're not here to sing necessarily. But the most successful musicians hear the song in their head with their mental voice, and then it comes out their fingers. They have this gluey thing. Anything that comes out their fingers, they're hearing in their head. It's very hard to describe, very important to learn how to do. And one of the easiest ways to do that is to try to sing the notes. So we go from many different keys, long story. The thing is, the do, re, mi stuff is really, really useful. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to play the note, and when I echo it, I'm going to sing. So you can sing with me, right? So we're going to do the original, and then our echo is actually going to be singing. Now, I'm not a professional singer, but I'll do my best, and you'll find out very quickly that I'm not the greatest singer in the world. But the idea is that you start to be able to really hear those notes, and the do, re, mi can really help. Okay, so we do it one more time. And on the echo part, you're going to hear me sing the notes, and you can sing right along with me. So we listen, and then we sing. 1, 2, here we go. Do, do, do. Do, do, re. Re, re, do. Do, re, mi. Mi, fa, sol. So, fa, fa. Fa, 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 fa. Fa, fa, so, so. So, fa, mi, mi. Mi, re, do, do. do, re, mi, mi, re, do, re. Okay, so it doesn't take very long, and if you're making it up on your own, it gets to be a lot of fun. Do, re, so. You get really good at your do, re, mi very, very, very quickly. You can follow exactly what you see here, or you could make it up on your own. I really recommend that for those, especially for those who are playing by ear, because it makes it stronger super fast, super fast. All right, so we're on to the next thing, the jam. So jam in jazz is making it up, right? So a whole group of people are sitting around, and when they're jamming, they're making it up. And very often it's according to a chord pattern. We'll talk about that soon. For our purposes, what we're doing is we're trying to understand a little bit how music is put together. And very often, a little idea is repeated. So these are short examples, and the whole point is that you take it as an example and then you make it your own. If you've never done that before, it can be very, very intimidating. So the first example of the jam is this rhythmic idea, quick, quick, slow. And we're going to do that rhythm on each of the notes of the scale as a way of starting. So that those first three measures of the jam, so you hear that pattern and you could go right on, right? So one of the reasons I did it is just so you can hone in on listening. So let me do that once and let you see what I did. So I'm starting on the C, right? Most of what we're talking about has to do with the right hand for now, because we're going to create some melodies. And then later we'll make chords. Okay, so what I just did before, 1, 2, ready, go. And that's where the example stops. If you look at the 4th, 5th, and 6th measure, the second half of that top line, I used the same rhythm, but now I changed the notes. 1, 2, ready, go. So you see a pattern there. You see a pattern, right? And so when you're playing songs, so often they'll do these patterns and they'll either make them kind of like step up, or they actually literally repeat the same notes, right? Right? So Jingle Bells, it's that same rhythm, and I didn't do that by accident. I wanted to give you a chance to practice. Quick, quick, slow, quick, quick, slow. You get used to that as a really foundational rhythm. You see it a whole bunch. And what happens is that you start to recognize it on the music when you see it, and you know exactly how it goes because you've seen it many times. One way of really getting that into your bones is to repeat it. So rather than like mindlessly do all kinds of exercises, you can start to jam and make up your own music using those small, sometimes they're called motives. There's a rhythmic motive or a melody motive. In this particular case, it was both in combination. They have special names for all that stuff. You don't have to really remember, but you can start to experiment on your own. Make sense? So that's what jam is. Let me take you to the second line. Here what I did was that first example is where the first note is kind of by itself, and then the next three are the same. So it's 1 unique and 3 the same. 1 unique, 3 the same. And then the last bit are it's basically notes in a row. Okay? So let me just take you through those quickly. The reason I'm not spending a lot of time on them is because the idea is that it's just a little bit of an example to get you going. And then what I'm hoping and asking you to do is just spend like 15, 20 seconds just using little ideas and fooling around, getting used to playing on the piano. So what we got here is we have the fourth finger there, and 1, 2, ready, go. Right, and if you used that idea and kept going, right, and it's not going to sound like the greatest stuff in the world, but we're just kind of getting started. Okay, the last bit are notes in a row. Okay, and of all of them, that's probably the easiest one to get after. I had a special name for it when I was working with some other children, and I call it elevator. So you just go notes in a row, and then you change direction randomly. You just go up and down and up and down, and then you can throw in repeated notes. And if you get used to just making notes in a row, and what happens is you get into the flow of the music. And the flow is where the feeling comes from. So it's important to learn how to get that steady. And the beautiful thing about jam is you can go slow, you can go quickly, you can change it up, you can do whatever you want. So the jam is really to set you free of just, talking with musical notes. All right? So the last part for today, for this video, is something I'll call song cipher. Basically, it's the key elements that you're going to find in the 3 songs that will allow you to play them better if you understand what they are and why they are. So basically, in the song cipher for the first lesson, which is the first 3 songs, it's about understanding the difference between a step and a skip. So on the music of song cipher, you see the first measure. I'll give you a chance to see that. These are notes in a row. So 5, 4, 3 is the fingering. G, F, E are the notes, and so, fa, mi. Okay, so those are notes in a row. Skipping a note, 5 to 3, so you're leaving the one between, right? That's called a skip. Sometimes it's called a third. Well, in the songs that are in that first lesson, almost everything is either a step or it's a skip. Either a step or a skip. And if your eyes get used to seeing it, you have much more success. So I'll just play through it once. And then your skip. And then that third measure actually comes right out of a song. That comes right out of the song. So this is how we build things up. The next bit, that's right from a song as well. Now the bottom line, you have 2 skips in a row. And you'll see the first time 2 beats for every note, and then 1 beat, twice as fast. That's a really powerful way to learn stuff. Do it slow with 2 beats, and then do it twice as fast. Sometimes you can learn the whole thing in 1 bit. And that shows up in the songs too. And the last thing, those last 3 measures are right from a song, and it's where a lot of people get tripped up. It's right out of Jingle Bells. That bit comes from the C, E, G that we did. So in any case, the idea is to just give you a little heads up. These little doodads here in Song Cipher can help you play the songs. Over the years of sharing lessons, I've noticed that many students run into trouble at the same spot, right? So I said, well, if they're learning the songs by themselves, wouldn't it be nice if they had help during the hardest parts? And so throughout the 12 lessons or the 36 songs, if you find something in a song and I just can't figure that out, check back into the song cipher, because there's a good chance that I've explained why it's hard, what to do, how to fix it, and so that you can play the song and you will be happy with the result. So you're welcome to go on to the songs, Little Bird, Jingle Bells, Mary Had a Little Lamb, and you'll find that I did practice videos for those songs as well. I show them, and I actually do practice speed, so slow and then quicker, and I created duet parts so that you can have something fancy to play along with. It's actually quite fun. And if you have friends, you can learn the duet part and the regular part. You come together and you can make up songs together. So thank you very much for joining me, and I'll look forward to seeing you for lesson 2.